Hello and welcome. This is not Avalanche, but Guinan, who's going to be your host for this match. I've requested for Avalanche to pass me his torch in an effort to get this loser's bracket moving along. It has been almost 2 weeks since the winner's bracket has concluded, and the longer we take finishing this loser's bracket, the smaller our viewership will become, as those who have already been eliminated have less stock to place in these remaining matches, so they are less likely to stick around if they haven't left already. So without further ado, we have iamBQB. I believe he's a newcomer to the tournament scene, as I don't recognize his name from seasons 3 through 5. Doing rather well for himself, reaching the 4th round of this loser's bracket with a Samurai, a Lancer, and a Paladin. And we have AeroGP, Season 3 finalist, Season 5 finalist, looking to become more than a finalist in the FFT Arena tournament with an Archer, a Chemist, a Squire, and a Priest. AeroGP is a man who knows his metagame. He's built his offense around two rather potent abilities, Kagasogi and Ninjutsu, at the same time building himself against any ninjutsu his opponent would use against him. His Squire here being the main ninjutsu user. Oddly enough, he has 70 Brave, which does not factor into the ninjutsu damage calculation. I assume two things. One, it could be for intimidating giant axe damage, if ninjutsu ever fails him, and two, it could be to lure the AI toward him with physical attacks, as he has all this physical evasion to block them with. Unfortunately for him, iamBQB has two PA-stacked attack-up Lancers who can jump through all this physical evasion. So in spite of AeroGP having deadly offense, iamBQB's offense is effective against AeroGP as well, so I assume that both teams are going to be dropping units left and right. The question that will be answered is which team can keep their units alive best. So let's jump right into this. It's already been 2 minutes. Once again, I'm opening up another bout of hosting with a long, lengthy pre-game commentary. It's a bad habit of mine. Round 1 will be at map 92. Igros, Bell of Residence. A very small map. Unfortunately, neither team has very much AoE to exploit this small map. So in spite of its smallness, I assume the match will unfold in a very typical way, as it will on large or medium maps. They'll just be able to hurt each other much sooner, starting with a Kagasogi, followed by a Ninjutsu, immediately dropping that Lancer in spite of any HP he has. Lancer's back up rather soon, thanks to Chantage, I believe. Wholly missing, 2 big jumps, dropping the Archer and wounding the Chemist. Dropping the Lancer once again. This time there's no Chantage, so he's down for the count. And with such big damage, Dragon Spirit didn't have a chance to trigger. So he's going to need to catch a Resurrection, or a Phoenix down from either the Samurai, or revive, I suppose. Knight chopping away, rather uncontested, not for very much damage though. In spite of being a tank, he's not tanking very well. That is, of course, because he has both 40 Faith and 40 Brave, so he takes very little damage. The AI will not prioritize the attacking. Instead, they're going to attack those 2 Lancers, which iamBQB needs to deal big damage. Lancer is going through... The second Lancer going through his re-raise. iamBQB has a lot of difficulty healing those Lancers in spite of their high HP pools. So they're going to be going down every time to Ninjutsu and Kagasogi. Arm aim missing, rather Hail Mary. I think that's the lone AoE right there. Ramu, not very much damage though, due to iamBQB having strictly 40 Faith units all across the board. Rather underwhelming Phoenix downs, dropped right back down with 100% Ninjutsu. iamBQB cannot break from that loop. He has a very slow team, and AeroGP has haste, with 4 healthy units, so we can continually reapply haste, as we see here. the Lancers most likely will not catch a break. All the while, the two remaining units on iamBQB's team are going to take damage. So iamBQB looking to crack real early here in the first match. Carbuncle? Keeping the team's MP pools healthy. A rather weak Asura. Not very much damage. However, as we can see, that Samurai is blinded, so his physical attacks are going to be very ineffective. You'll have to rely on those droughts, which are pretty weak on male samurais. But it's all you can do. Weak Holy, followed by a weak Gunshot, kills him. Now with one remaining unit, this lone Knight. Samurai's back. But I think iamBQB is only delaying the inevitable here. Another rather underwhelming Holy, but it's enough to get the job done. Almost, sorry, I was wrong there. Catches a crystal, followed by another haste, followed by another Phoenix down, followed by nothing, followed by death. So it's dragging on here for a bit. Paladin taking huge damage, and now he's forced to heal himself rather than resurrect the Lancer. Could we see the res loop finally broken? iamBQB's units just don't want to go down. And just when I say that, one does. So now it's up to this lone Lancer. Seems to have made his peace with the fact that his team will lose, doesn't resurrect, or do any healing whatsoever, and he just goes for a weak draw-out, which only tickles AeroGP's units, and allows them to keep on their offense. There's an Axe Chop, didn't do that much damage. The Samurai does have Shush, I believe. He takes quite little damage. More underwhelming Asura. I believe that Chemist blocked it twice in a row. Not that it really matters. Don't act, and that'll seal it. It's only a matter of time now. Axe Chop, Holy, and that's it. So AeroGP takes round 1. Battle 2 has us at the cemetery of some guy. AeroGP is looking to make this the cemetery of one person more. iamBQB, you need to fight for your life, or there's going to be a second tombstone on that hill by the end of the battle. Opening up with Masamune. Why not? That's how everybody opens up if they have Masamune. Haste and regen is just oh so good. That Lancer is looking to die, if not for the help of his knight buddy. Keeping the Lancer alive to survive that Holy. Samurai blocking Kagasogi. Taking a gunshot to the head but healing it. That Samurai with a strong will to win. Kiku, too bad. It's just too weak. 31 damage against that Chemist with the thief hat. If iamBQB wins, it's not going to be thanks to the Samurai, I bet. The Lancer is already down, but the second Lancer takes out the Archer. So both sides down one unit. One unit gets back up, the other one stays down. Stigma Magic, in spite of that, goes for more Kiku, kills the Archer anyway. Chemist forcing to spend a second turn, healing the Archer. Ramu once again drops the Lancer for a second time, followed by a Shuriken. Negated most of that damage with Auto Potion. Samurai still refusing to die. I don't know why that Archer didn't just use Kagasogi. I mean, he has no reason not to. That's one of the problems with using magic guns in Kagasogi. Sometimes they just shoot their gun because it's 100%. even if the, I guess, the estimated damage of damage multiplied by the chance of hitting would still be higher with Kagasogi. So units dead all along. iamBQB is looking in much better shape this match than he was in the first. He's keeping that the archer down so he can't use Kagasogi. Without Kagasogi, one of AeroGP's big offensive strategies is locked out. I could have phrased that better, but I tripped over my own words. Anyway, more transfusion. The Paladin is running out of MP. That's unfortunate for a transfusion to have an MP cost, since it already has an HP cost as well. That's going to be addressed in the next patch, hopefully, if it ever comes out. So we could transfusion all day long. Asura. Also very little damage. Not only does that chemist have Thief Hat, he also has a Venetian shield. He's impervious to all forms of elemental damage other than Holy. Actually, all of AeroGP's team is weak to Holy, as he has relatively high faith and no Holy negation. Not that that means much to iamBQB though, because he has no magic users. So, AeroGP in a bit of a pinch. Looks like my warning at the start of the match proved well for his units. They do not want to die today. It's just a matter of time before this chemist succumbs to really nasty Lancer damage. The archer getting his Kagasogi, but I believe it's a bit too late. iamBQB's healing, not that effective, but when he has all 4 units together, it's just enough to put up with Kagasogi. So regrouping a bit here, I guess he wants to look very stylish when he concludes this match. Really, he's just delaying the inevitable, as AeroGP's 2 remaining units have been separated by the Squire. Separated from the Squire and the Priest, yes, who have already crystallized, I believe, so only a matter of time. Chemist just does not want to die. And that's how you want your chemists. You don't want your chemists dying. But yes, the chemist died. It's just a matter of time. And no, okay. Maybe next time. Come on. Lancer has to retreat, he's wounded. Catches more transfusion. Knight has been very effective for iamBQB this match. Blocked once again. The Kiku. Lancers don't want to jump, I believe they're at too great a height difference. Third time? Third time's a charm. So, round 3, here we come. Round 3. I love third rounds. Sudden death. Very exciting. And what's more, they're also on medium-sized maps, and medium-sized maps, in my opinion, have some of the best maps in the game. Now, we've seen this one before, unfortunately, but no matter. We'll carry on. Starting with Kagasogi, and now Masamune. Followed by dual jump. That archer is dead. So will this be a continuation of round 2? If we remember, round 2, AeroGP had trouble because he couldn't keep that archer alive. But these squires are in a much better position to do damage as the team is no longer separated, they're all together. And the samurai's dead. Revives, more Masamune. Gunshot. Bounces off that knight's chest, he just shakes it off. He's not called a tank for nothing. Dramatic self-ninjutsu healing. It's a very sexy thing with flash hats. Ninjutsu just deals so much damage. And that squire is just chugging healing. Effective use of Kiku, avoiding the floating lancer and hitting the priest. Priest forced to cast Moogle. Doesn't keep her Squire buddy alive, though, unfortunately. So AeroGP is under a bit of stress at the moment. That Squire's physical evasion is just not working, even though iamBQB is not jumping. Squire gets back up, blocks that time. Unfortunately, that was the weakest offense at iamBQB's disposal. But he'll take what he can get. Now that he's lost Innocence, he's much less effective, that Squire is. Triple panel Kiku, still very weak. Easily healed by one Moogle. And Kagasogi. So AeroGP opening up a bit of offense of his own, putting iamBQB now under a bit of stress. And they're just trading blows, taking blows. Resurrecting. Taking more blows. Ramu. Very weak Ramu. Archer takes to high ground. Goes for a gunshot when he could have probably killed Lance with Kagasogi. I don't believe he has low MP. No, definitely does not. So that's the AI for you. Very, very finicky. It's like teaching an old dog new tricks, however tired that cliche is. The AI will just do as it pleases. Now, we have both Lancers down. One will come back up, but he's going to be wounded, and he's surrounded by enemies. So he can easily go down with another gunshot. He has no means of healing himself, really. So this battle has been split into two. One battle has already been resolved, just as I said that. The Squire hitting the floor. So both of AeroGP's units in a bad way. Sorry, both of AeroGP's offensive units in a bad way. Moogle will help a bit, but he's still going to die to jump and pokes. He's going to need to catch another Moogle or a high potion. Unfortunately, the chemist has to use high potion on himself or he'll die. But he's healthy enough to do some damage. Takes out the Lancer, far from the rest of iamBQB's team, so I think that Lancer will be down for the rest of the match, unfortunately. Then again, AeroGP's Squire is also separated from his team, so this match has become essentially a 3-on-3. With one main damage dealer down apiece. I fear that this match might drag on as a result. Priest is down. Lancer is down. Lancer's back up. Tank, Tank hasn't been tanking them. More of a support than a tank. Squire crystallizes. It's 2-on-3. Transfusion, keeping the two of iamBQB's units healthy. Doesn't matter though, as one still goes down to that very powerful Kagasogi. Kiku sticking on that priest like butter on bread. Priest has just been hitting the floor many times. Back up once again. Unfortunately, that's the only way AeroGP can revive that priest. That priest, I think, is out of MP. Can't heal herself, nor will be able to resurrect any of AeroGP's units lest they die. iamBQB is not under a lot of pressure at the moment. Well, I guess that Lancer is dead. The priest needs the crystal. However, the crystal is separated by an impassable height difference. I can forgive AeroGP for that though, as not often you put jump movement abilities on a priest. Priest down again. So AeroGP in a bit of trouble. Wasting turns healing that priest when the priest is pretty much useless by this point. and any damage dealt by that the archer can just be negated through successive applications of transfusion. Priest doing nothing, taking damage, damage split. I think that's the best we'll see out of her. Keeping pressure off the chemist and the archer. However, I don't believe the chemist and the archer will be enough to take out these 3 tanky units. Gunshot won't do much. 40 faith. I think it's only a matter of time by this point. Things are not looking good for the veteran, as he's about to lose his chemist under heavy fire. Gunshot's not going to do much, and the chemist is down, so it's just up to this lone archer. Goes for arm aim. Kiku block, I think we've seen this before. Stigma magic, getting rid of the Kagasogi's blind. More Kagasogi, blocked that time. And now to begin the damage, 110, followed by 63, followed by nothing, followed by 2 crystals. Arm aim. Trying to keep himself alive as long as possible. I guess he wants to lose with grace. Kiku, was that blocked or was that hit? I couldn't tell. It was behind a building. Still not dying. That archer has the will of a warrior. Unfortunately, his luck has run out. So congratulations, iamBQB. You have bested the veteran, and we'll be moving on to round 5. AeroGP, you played well, but better luck next time.